Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to do something different. Now, for a bit of context, it is July 1st. Today is the day that Imaginarium Theatre did come out, and I'm recording this the day it came out. I was supposed to upload a video of me doing a run through it, but honestly, I preferred having a discussion first of all. That video will be out in about 2 days, but I decided instead I wanted to talk about it a bit because I have some thoughts, is what I will say right now. Now, I do want to start off with the positives. First of all, obviously it is very nice that they have given us a new permanent game mode. You know, I do have to give Hoyoverse some credit, and also, you know, there is a bit of fun to be had here. For example, it allows you to play characters which you normally wouldn't, and it's just nice for some extra rewards. However, it definitely has its problems, and before I go on to like the mode itself, I do want to bring up the first thing which instantly annoyed me, and that's if I go here, I am on my other account, I have been, you know, 36 starring Spiral Abyss for the past 10 months, and I decided, you know, I wanted to play the brand new game mode. Since my account's pretty good, I wanted to go onto the hard mode, but I only have 13 selectable characters. I don't have enough characters to play the game mode, to get full rewards. I can only get a third of the rewards because I don't even have enough characters to play the normal mode. I'm one short. I need to play the easy mode because I don't have enough characters for the hard mode. I need to build more characters in order to be able to finish this. Like, how crazy is that already? Like, if we just quickly take a look at my characters, like, this is just really bad for free-to-plays, if I'm being honest, because obviously you have these type restrictions, so you can only play certain characters, and, you know, I just don't have enough which are eligible to play. And honestly, all they had to do was give us all of the Animo, Electro, and Pyro characters as trial characters, and then this wouldn't be a problem. But no, now I need to build more characters in order to play the game mode on the difficulty I want to get the full rewards. Now I just have to beat like level 70 enemies or whatever. So yeah, that was the first thing which annoyed me. So I had to record all the gameplay on my other account. So, you know, until I build more characters, I literally cannot do this Imaginarium Theatre until the new one comes out, and there's other type restrictions, and who even knows if I'll be able to do that one. So, yeah, that's the first thing. I just feel like this is a massive oversight by Hoyoverse. I don't know why they would only allow us some trial characters and not others, even though we can pick the other characters from our own equipment. It's not as if, like, if you just give us all of our trial characters and then give us the option to use our own instead, then that's perfectly fine. I don't see the issue. But no, now I have to build other characters, and I mean, this is sort of like a problem for free-to-play, if you think about it, because free-to-plays are supposed to, like, build a couple of characters, focus on a couple of characters, so that they can clear the endgame modes without having to spread their investment too thin. But no, you can't do that in the theater, and honestly, I don't even know if we can call this an endgame mode, because I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty easy. So, I mean, when talking about the game mode itself, it also has a couple of issues. Now, first of all, I want to talk about the team building, because I'm being honest, these type restrictions just make it so that the characters aren't really fun to play. I feel like part of the whole thing about this mode was us being allowed to play like various different characters which we normally wouldn't in the Spiral Abyss, but then they just end up not being very fun to play. I mean, for example, here I've selected a D-Luke, who I didn't end up using, but like if I did, what good D-Luke team can I build here other than like a Mono Pyro team? But then I also have an Arlecchino who I could use in the Mono Pyro team. I could just do a Mono Pyro team without D-Luke as well. It's just not fun to play the teams whatsoever. I mean, they gave us a Siegeween, who's the only Hydro character available, and let's just be honest, she's not very good. I'm sorry, Siegeween players, but I feel like there's a reason why no one pulled her and why no one's really talking about her, because... Oh, also one thing I also realized is that if you don't own the special guest stars, you can't use them. There are no trial versions of them. So for example, if I wanted to use Siegeween, for whatever reason, I can't even because I don't own her. You need to own all of these characters. There's literally no trial versions. And Wriothesley and Siegeween are also two of the least owned characters in the game other than Chiori. So once again, that's part of the reason why I can't do it on my other account, because I don't have trial versions of these characters. And if you don't own any of them, hard luck. You just have to deal with every single one of these characters. And that's once again less good teams you can build. So another improvement they can make is giving us trial versions of these special characters. And I mean, even the trial characters they give you aren't amazing either. For example, I used the Toma earlier with Wanderer for like the first couple of chambers, and he got his ult like once every 2 years because there was no Pyro character I wanted to use to battery him. And that's another thing with the team building. You have the energy system where you don't want to waste your good characters. So in the beginning, you just play bad characters in bad teams, which don't really make sense, just to try save up everything for the end, and then it takes you like a minute and a half to clear like the first couple of floors, and it just feels really bad because the teams aren't fun to play. You're using characters which either you don't like or you don't, or you know, which are kind of like fodder for you or whatever, and then you just end up not really having a good time in the beginning. And the thing is, once you do get to the end, it just gets, if I'm being honest, incredibly easy because you probably have like some of your best characters saved for the final couple of chambers. Like, I cleared the penultimate chamber with my Risley team in about 30 seconds, and I also cleared the final chamber in 30 seconds. So, like, this game mode isn't challenging whatsoever, if you ask me. It's tedious, that's what it is. Like, the bosses are easy as hell. The only difficult parts are, for example, the monolith challenges, which are hell if you don't use groupers. And the only real grouper here is Kaza, because first of all, they didn't give us a trial venti to choose from. Once again, this goes back to my point where I don't know why they don't just let us choose every single Animo, Pyro, and Electro character. When you've already given us so many restrictions, you might as well give us as many trial characters as you can. So first of all, we can play the game mode. Second of all, we can actually make decent teams. For example, I don't have a Chevreuse, so my overload teams aren't that great. Don't have a Venti, so my only grouper is Kazuha. And it just doesn't feel good to play, if I'm being honest. I didn't have that much fun playing it. I mean, you know, it's nice trying out something new. These special guest stars are cool. Once again, Seedream's a bit useless, but you can run Alhaitham in Quicken teams, as well as Baiju, and then you can run a Melt team with Risley. But other than that, I mean, you can choose one supporting character from your friend, which is cool. I'll give him that. But yeah, once again, it just goes back to the limited choices we have for trial characters. I mean, this is all they've given us. Like, what? I just don't get it. Like, I don't get the point. If you really ask me, what they need to do is they need to give us more trial characters to overcome the energy system. And then to compensate for that, maybe make the bosses more difficult because they really are pushovers. I mean, the blessings as well, or the buffs, or whatever you want to call them, most of them are just a bit dumb, if I'm being honest. They're tedious. They don't really change much. I don't feel like my experience was worse by barely choosing any of them. The currency system, I mean, it's okay, it's whatever, you can largely ignore it, if I'm being completely honest. You can just not spend any of your points on the buffs whatsoever and just choose more characters. But then the thing is, the character selection is random, so it really depends on what characters you get. They can make or break your run. For example, if you don't get your Bennett Changling later on, or if you get them early on and then you have to waste the energy to get through some tedious floors, then it's just gonna feel really bad when you have nothing left for the final bosses. Like, literally, just the character selection is so thin. It's what they should do is, once again, give us all the trial characters, and maybe let us choose more than one character after every boss or stage or whatever. You know, just give us more options. Let us build good teams. Don't, like, literally, I had to play a double DPS team with Kaching, Arlecchino, and Sucrose, and Fischl for the Terrace Room. I mean, in one of the floors, I think it was against the Vishaps, actually. I played an Alhaitham team, as well as Clarend. Like, why am I playing dual DPS teams in Genshin? This just shows you how restrictive and how dumb the team building is, and most of the time, they just don't feel good. Because when you do have a good team, you just destroy all the enemies in, like, 10 seconds, and when you have a bad team, it just feels horrible to play. I mean, like, I'm gonna be real, I don't really like Wanderer's playstyle. He didn't feel too good for me to play, and they also didn't give me great supports for him. I mean, Thomas Shield took every 2 years to get up, and then I just threw in a Cookie, because Cookie's quite useless in this mode, if I'm being honest, because we don't have any good Hydro users for Hyper Bloom, sorry, Seedream. So, yeah, I mean, some of the characters are just pointless, and it just really wasn't a great experience, if I'm being completely honest. So, yeah, for the most part, that's really my thoughts on the game mode. The main issues are that, you know, the beginning is incredibly tedious, and the team building just doesn't feel good, nor do the characters feel good to play, and then by the end you just steamroll everything, so it's all a bit pointless. And then some of us can't even play the entire thing through, so we can't even get all the rewards, because we have to build more characters, but that takes resources, and I really don't feel like doing that. So, yeah, it's just kind of a never-ending cycle of slapping free-to-players in the face, and also slapping players in the face if you get bad RNG, and you have to restart because you didn't get the characters you want. You have to waste your energy on some of them. Like, I tried so hard to save my energy for the teams I really needed, and it just ended up with me steamrolling the endings. So yeah, if you ask me, make the enemies a bit more difficult, and give us more characters to choose from to compensate. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Did you enjoy the game mode? You know, do you have any other points of contention? Did you find any other issues that I didn't discuss in this video? Yeah, just be sure to let me know. The video will be coming out in 2 days of me doing my clear, so, you know, if you want to see how I did, I mean, you know, you can call me trash for not playing the proper way, and that's why I had a bunch of problems, and I should just build more characters to get over the issues. You know, I'm sure some people will be saying that kind of stuff, but you know, that's just my thoughts. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And leave your comments just on what you thought. If you liked it, tell me why you liked it. If you didn't, tell me why you didn't like it. And hopefully this will spawn some discussion, and maybe we can see some changes for this game mode. But yeah, that's it from me for the most part. I think I made my points abundantly clear. I repeated myself a couple of times, and yeah, that's it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more discussion videos, I would be interested in making them, considering the fact that Fontaine is nearly at a close. I would also maybe make some for Honkai Star. So yeah, be sure to let me know if you want my thoughts on anything. And with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. So be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because it helps the channel out a lot. And see ya.